Adaram, they say, whenever I leave the house, and on whatever thing my eyes fall on,
وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما
Allah Ta'ala says, Wallahu yuhibbu as-sabirin. Allah Ta'ala is lief with Adikina.
School governing body of South Coast Madrasa.
وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا.
Today, the 5th of December 2014 marks the first anniversary of the passing of the former President of South Africa, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. ITV was today present at a wreath-laying ceremony that took place at the Union Buildings.
One year after Nelson Mandela's death, people all over the world have been asked by the government to observe 3 minutes of silence at the stroke of 10 a.m. to reflect on the life of a selfless freedom fighter turned statesman who led the struggle for liberation from apartheid almost his entire life. With the fall of apartheid, he shunned retribution, becoming instead a shining example for all South Africans and globally of reconciliation and peace. We're at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Behind me is a magnificent statue of Nelson Mandela. This morning, wreaths will be laid by his dear friend Ahmed Kathrada. Yesterday, Ahmed Kathrada said that he is still in mourning, that he lost a teacher and a very, very dear friend. At Madiba's funeral last year, he said he didn't know who to turn to because Madiba meant so much in his life. This is Faisal Patel reporting from the Union Buildings in Pretoria.
The guests who were invited to this particular ceremony were from a variety of backgrounds, many of them struggle veterans, others people who are involved politically at current, and still more those who were young whose families had been part of the struggle. ITV's Faisal Patel managed to catch up with a struggle veteran well known amongst many members of our community in the personage of Isu Chiba.
As far as I'm concerned, there are many fond memories. I have known Madiba. I first met Madiba in 1961. That takes me back to 50 years, and that's a long time ago. So I don't want to select any particular occasion, except to say that as far as Madiba is concerned, one of his greatest attributes was the question of being sensitive to the care and the plight of people and do something constructive about it. This is something very important. Madiba has been a global icon. Not only a global icon, he has been a national icon. He has taken his rightful place alongside the political and economic giants of the 20th century. Nationally, he has been a giant amongst the giants of the National Democratic Revolution. And I think what we should do on this very important occasion is to rededicate ourselves to the values and principles but for which Madiba has sacrificed his entire life. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And our sincere apologies for being late. Mama Grasa, the Madiba family, ministers, deputy ministers, veterans of our struggle, Advocate Bezos, you welcome here this morning. And we are grateful for your presence. I welcome all of you to what we used to call the halls of power, the majestic union buildings. On this day last year, we felt it hard to walk up these stairs. For almost 5 years, we had known that the certainty of the moment would come upon us when we would have to come here to make the most difficult announcement of our lives, that our beloved Madiba, the father of our nation's democracy, is no more. So it is with mixed emotions that we return here in the mode of remembrance. For this place, the Union Buildings, represents a journey our nation took from the time when laws of apartheid were designed to the point when Madiba took an oath that never again shall we return to our ugly past. In welcoming you to this place that is so weaved into the history of our people, we declare that in Madiba, true Madiba style, this building should be the real symbol of our country's unity, the real Union Buildings, representing the unity of our people from a fragmented past. Ladies and gentlemen, Mama Grasa, Madiba family, we welcome you here today on this emotional occasion to rededicate all of our countries to Madiba's values, the values of compassion, of selflessness, and the placement of one's being in service of his people and country. As we lay the wreaths of remembrance today, we also spread the pollen of his love for his people and for it to germinate amongst the millions of our people who are part of this event, even in their homes. May I invite you all to honor Madiba and emulate his example of the generosity of the human spirit, to love each other to the point of fighting for the common good of all. I thank you, Mama. I thank you, Madiba family. I thank you, Mzukulwana Madiba. I thank you, Malume. I thank you, Advocate Bezos. I thank all of you for being with us this morning to share this moment.
I first met Madiba in 1946 when he was at university and I was at school. And my first and lasting impression of Madiba is the way he related to me as an equal. And that is how I'll always remember Madiba. Whether one is a peasant, a queen, aristocrat, rich or poor, Madiba treated everyone as equals. That was the strength of Madiba. We were together in 3 major trials. The Defiance trial of 1952, in which we were sentenced to 9 months imprisonment or suspended. In the treason trial for 4.5 years. And finally, the Rivonia trial. And here I should not forget to mention Advocate George Bezos. Although he sent us to jail, but he'll quickly say, but I saved you from hanging. So thank you, George, for being with us today.
What's wrong? Why don't you put it up there? Can we talk now?
Madiba was charismatic. He was courageous. He was a peasant, an aristocrat. He was a democrat with a touch of the autocrat. He was proud and he was simple. He was soft. He was tenacious. He was obstinate. He was flexible. He was vain. He was shy. He was cool. He was impatient. But above all, he was a team person. In all the years that I knew him, I only came across 2 instances when he was angry. The one was with a prison official, the other one I won't mention. Madiba in the Rivonia trial made it clear to us this is a political trial and it must be fought politically. And right from the beginning, we had been cautioned that the possibility of a death sentence will always be there. So under Madiba's leadership, he set the tone of the trial. You go into the witness box, you proclaim your political beliefs proudly. You don't apologize what you have done. You don't plead for mercy. And if there's a death sentence, we don't appeal, because no apartheid court is going to overthrow a death sentence. One can go on and on talking about Madiba. When he went underground to lead the life of an outlaw, he left behind his family, 2 little girls, but he went through it all. The office of Mandela in Tambo, the legal office, was closed, and for a while he practiced from flat 13, Howard House. That's where I was staying. And when he was practicing there, he was such a popular lawyer that first one client came to see him, and then another one, and then another one. And there were 3 rooms at Howard House until all 3 rooms were filled with his clients. And I said, Madiba, the time has come when I'll have to evict you, because I can't have all your clients even occupying my kitchen. But that's how popular he was as a leader. Friends, I don't want to go on and on talking about Madiba. There's so much to say. But we remember him. We remember him for his humanity. We remember him for his courage, his friendship. To me, he was an elder brother. And I miss him not only as a political leader, I miss him as an elder brother. I had said when Walter died, who should I turn to? Well, there was Madiba. When Madiba died, I again asked, who should I turn to? I'm still looking for somebody that I'm going to turn to. And I'm sure I'll find somebody. Thank you very much.
وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما صلوا عليه.
From amongst some of the notable comments made was one made by the wife of former President Nelson Mandela, Graça Machel, who mentioned that the legacy of Nelson Mandela should supersede everything that we stand for. It should be the hallmark and it should be the foundation by which all of us go out into the world and create our own individual legacies. for indeed it is only our legacies that remain behind.
There comes a time where the body of somebody just get tired. And day by day, it cannot sustain the spirit. Madiba's day, where his body did not cooperate with him, as he always tells us. The body gave in. But Madiba's spirit never changed. He was always the same to the end. And Madiba is, in spirit, the same even today. On the day of his passing, I was not able to think. I was numb. But now looking back, I can imagine him tall and proud, walking, and all of them raising to receive him, and him beaming in his contagious smile, embracing each one of them. I stand here today as a mother of these two families. And it was my singular privilege with him, even just as the center and the glue of our family, to help him to build that space. When he passed on, he was surrounded by these two families. And we could see in his face the tranquility and the peace with which he left, as he was saying, I leave you in peace, and I want you to live in peace. I hope we'll be able to honor that gift of legacy he left for us. Let me now say something to South Africa, this great nation which has embraced us, the Mandela family, with sympathy, with love, with understanding. We will never be able to say thank you for the way you have shown really deep love for us. The South African nation, Madiba's people. All I can say today is Madiba gave us the gift of acceptance of one another. And I'm clear when I say acceptance. We have a common history and we have a common destiny. We are bound to live together. We have to learn to accept one another as part of the big body, which is the nation. We still have a long way to go to overcome racial, ethnic, religious, gender divisions. While today we think of him, while today we honor his life, it's up to each one of us, as he clearly said it on his 90th birthday. It is in your hands. It is in the hands of each one of us to take what is your stake to close the divisions which are still within us. Madiba would like us to every day close the gap between the rich and the poor. That every South African would have a life in dignity, have food on the table, have shelter, have clean water, have security and safety. All those things we are still yearning to build on our everyday life in our own capacity. That's why we say we have a stake in his legacy. And this is what it's going to make anyone who claims to love and respect him to have a stake. There's no one who can say it is the responsibility of someone else. It is the responsibility of each one of us. I end thanking again those colleagues of Madiba who worked with him, those who are still with us, and especially those who are here today, to say we as the Mandela family, we have you as brothers and sisters of Madiba. We lean on you for guidance. We lean on you to show us how we should even conduct ourselves. Thank you to veterans for organizing this ceremony. Those who are still young, who have been much younger than Madiba. We look at you and we feel proud that this is the generation which walked the long walk with him. The generation which is continuing that big journey of liberating our country, our nation, to be free. Free from want and free from fear. Thank you very much and God bless.
A great man indeed, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Let us remember him, but more importantly, let us create our own legacies of goodness so that humanity at large can benefit.
صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما حتى تنالوا جنة ونعيما. 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 صلوا عليه.